The president is facing many controversies, but one aspect of his agenda that he laid out in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday has long been a goal of both parties: the elimination of the AIDS virus.
My budget will ask Democrats and Republicans to make the needed commitment to eliminate the HIV epidemic in the United States within 10 years.
This marks a change from the president's past positions on the issue. A 2018 budget from the Trump White House actually diverted money away from research on HIV and AIDS. For more on this now, we're joined by Carl Schmid, the Deputy Executive Director at the AIDS Institute, as well as Carl, a co-chair of the Presidential Advisory Council on HIV/AIDS. So that is very good news. Congratulations on that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But, you know, as we heard, the president is assured that his administration can facilitate the stop to the HIV virus by 2030. This seems like an incredibly lofty goal. I remember when he said it in the State of the Union address, I sort of perked up because I had not heard him talk about this as a health crisis before. Is it a lofty goal? Too lofty?
It is a lofty goal, but it's something that we must and can achieve. There's over 1 million people living with HIV in the United States today, and through the miracle drugs that we have today that keep people alive, if you are on those drugs, you could actually suppress the virus and not transmit it to other people. So this is the main element of his goal, his plan, is to get more people tested and on treatment and get their virus suppressed. Right now, we're only around 50% of people living with HIV are virally suppressed. We need to get that number much higher. The other equation in the plan is prevention. And there's a pill. There's a remarkable pill called PrEP that if people take it every day will actually prevent the transmission of HIV. So it's a combination of increased treatment and increased prevention.
Yeah, we're incredibly lucky in this country because we have access to all of these drugs, and it's really sort of shifted what was an epidemic that, you know, was sort of a guaranteed death sentence into something else, almost sort of a long-term chronic illness if you can get access to these drugs. You are one of two new co-chairs of the White House's HIV/AIDS Advisory Council. Now, the president actually disbanded this council in 2017, and I'm curious, at the time when you heard that this was happening, how did you feel about it? And sort of moving forward now with this new constituted organization, what are the big hurdles you think you're going to be facing?
Yeah, you know, it takes time to get people appointed, and, you know, there was some, I wish it happened a lot sooner in the administration, but I think we just have to move on. And this, you know, how frequently do you get a mention in the State of the Union and then, you know, a big plan behind it? We're still waiting for the budget numbers to come out, but we understand significant new resources, and now we've got to get it funded. We need, you know, HIV has always been a bipartisan issue. It was great to see both Democrats and Republicans stand and applaud the president's announcement. And now we have to, we're waiting the president's budget, and we've got to get this passed by the Congress. It's going to be a long-term commitment. It's just not a one-year deal. We need funding every single year. And I want to say something else that's really remarkable and historic about this. It's a very focused program. What they're doing is providing additional funding to the localities and states around the country that have around 50% of the epidemic. So it's going to continue all the programs that we have right now, but this is an expanded effort.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting, the strategic focus on the counties and the cities sort of hardest hit. You know, for some, they sort of felt that the statements made in the State of the Union address perhaps maybe further disenfranchised members of the LGBT community, obviously a group heavily affected by the HIV epidemic, because it kind of imposed this unrealistic timeline. We're going to get rid of the virus within the decade. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, this is happening around the world. Here you know, the United States has been a leader in eliminating HIV, particularly in Africa, and they have these goals. and they're making progress. And certain cities in the country, like New York, San Francisco, D.C., also have these, goals. And so why can't we do it here in the United States as well, around the country? And so I think that is, something that, yes, this will impact and help a lot of gay men and transgender women as well. And we should seize the moment. And as I say, let's move on and let's get this implemented.
Seize the moment. Carl, thank you so much.
Certainly. Thank you.